guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am here today for a pregnancy update, my weeks 5 and 6 update, and I have a lot to share with you. It has been quite the past couple of weeks, certainly a change from my last pregnancy update, my 4-week pregnancy update. So a lot to share with you, and yeah, we'll get right into it. I'm first going to apologize. I know you guys don't care. I'm just sitting here chatting with you. I have very little makeup on. I think I just have mascara on. My hair's dirty. I just threw it back. I'm not feeling great, and this is what I have to look like in order to get through the day. So it's been a rough past couple weeks, that's for sure. So I'm just doing what I can to get by ultimately. So okay, so we'll start with week 5. Week 5 started out pretty well, and then it was 4 days into week 5, I started not feeling well. And I mean, it didn't like ease in, like I felt totally normal, and then it just hit like a train. Like I woke up, I felt miserable, like I was going to throw up, like horrible nausea, like the worst nausea I've ever had. It lasted all day and it came early. I was like, this is so early, this is crazy. And it was very intense, and you know, the nausea's horrible, and then I can barely eat anything. I don't want anything, and it's not even like, oh, some things sound good, some things don't sound good. Like literally nothing has been sounding good. So it started about midway through my week 5, and then it's continued here through 6 weeks. I will say it does get a little bit better around lunchtime. It's definitely the worst in the morning, which is just miserable because of my job. I am in a very busy time with my job, and I'm up moving around, I'm meeting people, I'm presenting different projects, and it's not fun. It's not easy. I don't want to complain. I'm very grateful, but it's just been a very difficult past 2 weeks. So it's really difficult in the morning. It eases up in the afternoon, and then it kind of comes back after dinner. At least that was the pattern through 5 weeks. It was just super intense throughout week 5. I was also pretty tired, not like overly tired. And this is something that, you know, everybody talks about how tired they are in the first trimester. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm not tired, because I definitely am tired. But I noticed it's more lack of motivation, like having no energy, which I guess would be the same as tired. But it's not necessarily like I want to take a nap. I have no motivation, no energy to do anything, which is not me at all. So that's been a little bit difficult, but I've also been so focused on the nausea and treating that and just getting through the day that it's like I don't even care about if I'm tired or not. So I've tried a lot of different things. I've tried like hard candies. They make these preggy pops. They're just like little candies ultimately. I guess maybe those help. I mean, a tiny bit maybe. I have tried B6 and Unisum. B6 was the miracle worker for when I was pregnant with Avery. I got really sick with her as well. And this was kind of before the whole B6 Unisum thing became big. I know it, like, that was around, but they were still prescribing Zofran when I was pregnant with Avery. In fact, my doctor had given me a script for Zofran. I think it was over the time, because I was pregnant with her in August of 2014 through April of 2015. They stopped prescribing that. It was like over that pregnancy, because they said there was too many. There was like, it was causing birth defects. And obviously, like, if you physically cannot keep food down, okay, that's a different story. But they don't like to prescribe that now. But I did have a script for that. So like B6 Unisum wasn't like a big thing for me. Actually, in fact, when she had given me the Zofran, she also said, oh, we have this new medication that just came out. Here's a free sample. And it was the diclegis or diclegis, I don't know how you say it, but it's basically whatever the active ingredients of Unisum and B6, that's what it is. And now that's the first line of medication they pretty much give to pregnant women when they're having trouble with nausea. But anyways, when I was pregnant with Avery, they gave me the Zofran, but I had also tried B6. I had a friend who was incredibly sick with her daughter, And she just gave me this bag full of things to try. She's like, try it all. It was like C-bands, B6. And I remember thinking, there's no way this vitamin is gonna do anything to help me. And I just was like, out of sheer desperation, just tried everything. Took a B6, and then the next day I woke up feeling better. Like, the nausea wasn't gone, but I felt better. And it ended up being a miracle worker for me. I went on that at like 8 weeks with Avery. And then at 13 or 14 weeks, I tried to go off of it, and I woke up throwing up. So B6 was a miracle worker for me with her. So this whole time, you know, I knew if I get pregnant, if I get nauseous, I can just take the B6 and everything will be great. I wasn't, you know, like afraid of being miserable, and the B6 is not working this time. The Untitled is not working either, so I'm kind of at a loss right now. It's been really difficult because nothing seems to help. So within other symptoms, again, the nausea just kind of takes over my day. So like I have been getting headaches just at night, but I also think that's from lack of drinking water. I am a big water drinker. Like, normally I probably get between 90 and 100 ounces in a day pre-pregnancy, or when I was feeling well, and so I'm always hydrated. And so like me being sick, like the thought of water is just horrible. So I've barely been drinking water. I mean, I've been forcing myself to. So I don't know if the headaches are pregnancy related or if they're from not being hydrated, because I do tend to get those in the evenings. And then the other hard part about week 5, I guess, is like literally, like I said, nothing has sounded good. Like, my friends at work were like trying to name off. They're like, what about this? What about that? What? Like, literally, I was like, no, nothing sounds good. Like, if you said, I'm going to make you, or I can get you anything in this entire world, tell me what it is and I will make it for you. And I was like, there's nothing. Like, nothing sounds good. Like, nothing sweet. So I was just getting by week 5, basically miserable. So then moving on to week 6, it did get a little bit better. Like, a little bit better. Like, for whatever reason, I don't know if things were just growing really fast in week 5, and then week 6 maybe things leveled out a little bit, but I did start to feel a tiny bit better. I still am nauseous. Nothing sounds good, but I don't have that intense, like, when I think of any food I want to throw up like I did with week 5. I mean, most foods like make my stomach turn, but it's not like as intense. I guess that's the thing. I still have the same feelings that I had in week 5. They're just not as intense. I can manage my day. It is not fun. It's not easy, but it's manageable. Week 5, it was like not manageable. Like, I was almost just like, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. So, week 6, I've had a little bit relief with the nausea. It's still there. I've kind of figured out some things that work as far as food related. So I need carbs at every single meal. I noticed that with week 5, like, I have to have carbs. But then earlier in week 6, I just was like, I just started feeling not great eating carbs. I mean, I need carbs, but I was like, I need to get some protein in my body as well. So what I started doing was drinking protein shakes. I mean, they don't taste good, but like the pre-made ones, I get the Premier Protein from Costco. So I kind of just like force those down, and then I'll have like a bagel with peanut butter. So I'm still getting my carbs, but then still getting in some protein. And those protein shakes, the Premier Protein, they're fortified with different vitamins. So I feel even better that I'm not just like eating a bagel. I know you gotta do what you have to do to get by, survival mode, but at the same time, you know, you still wanna try to get in your nutrients. So I'm finding some things that are working. And yes, my sad dinner of a bagel and peanut butter and a protein shake has been my dinner. I think I had pizza 3 times this week, and the thought of pizza right now makes me want to puke, which is sad because I love pizza. But I'm figuring out what's working and what's helping me get by this week. Other symptoms this week in week 6, I've been sleeping very well. Falling right asleep at night, which is so nice for me. I mentioned that in my last video. I don't really sleep very well, or I have a hard time falling asleep on like pre-pregnancy, so it's just been nice. Like, I'm out as soon as I lay down, which has been nice. And I feel like I feel a little bit better as far as the nausea goes if I get my sleep. I mean, it doesn't help a ton, but I know I feel worse if I don't get sleep. So I've been sleeping really well. I have been constipated, and let's see what else. I've been having crazy, very crazy detailed dreams, which I know that's a huge constipation, and crazy dreams are pretty common pregnancy symptoms. I know I'm on like progesterone shots, and that can cause crazy dreams, and I had that before I was pregnant because I was on that before I was pregnant, but it's nothing like these pregnancy dreams. Are pretty crazy, but regardless, I mean, those are pretty basic pregnancy symptoms. Okay guys, so I was just editing this video and I realized that I had forgotten a huge part of my 5-week pregnancy update. What was I thinking? It was because I was sick, and when I'm sick and I'm not feeling well, you just have like a one-track mind. So I'm sorry, I forgot a major part. I had some bleeding in week 5. It was incredibly scary. I had woken up and jumped out of bed. It was about 6 o'clock in the morning. I went to get in the shower and I had taken my clothes off, and I was walking to the shower and I looked down and I saw drips of blood. So I'm sorry if that's TMI, but yes, drips of blood. And it shocked me, I think, because obviously I'm like, I shouldn't be bleeding. So I think it was more shock, and then I like freaked out and I was like, oh no. Like, because it was just like, it's not like you wipe and there's blood, it was dripping, and I was just like, this is happening. What's going on? So I kind of had to stop for a second, collected my thoughts, and was like, okay, calm down. I can't call my doctor's office yet. I actually had to travel a little bit for work, like a day trip. And I had to do that unless obviously the bleeding picked up. So I was like, well, I have no choice but to continue on my day and see what happens. So that's exactly what I did. I just like sucked it up and put on like a panty liner to see. And I was feeling, that was one of the days I had just started feeling incredibly sick. So I will tell you, I initially freaked out when I saw the blood, because that's gonna happen when you're pregnant. But then I started calming down because I'm like, I feel miserable. So that's a good sign. And throughout the morning, because I didn't really get a chance to call my doctor's office until lunchtime, and when I called them, by then it had turned brown, and it had just stayed brown, and it wasn't a lot. So they had said that as long as there wasn't cramping along with the bleeding or any blood clots, they weren't very concerned. They offered that I could go in and get an ultrasound if I wanted to. I didn't feel the need for that, but I had the option, which I thought was really nice. And then that was Wednesday of my week 5, and I was going for my first ultrasound Thursday of week 6. So I had about like a week left before my ultrasound, and because I felt pretty crappy, nauseous, I started to feel better. But yeah, totally, I mean, it just shocked me because I was like barely awake, and then it's like dripping on the floor, and I'm like, what? Like my first thought was like, I'm miscarrying. Like that's what I thought. So that's like the second bleeding I've had since I've had a positive pregnancy test. And I haven't had any bleeding since that week 5, but I forgot to add that in. That was huge. So yeah, we'll get back to the video. So before I get into the questions that I answer every pregnancy update, I would say there's one kind of thing that hasn't been great, other than the nausea. So it happened once during week 5 and then twice during week 6. It was kind of like scary. So again, with my job, I don't want to go into too much detail, but I give presentations a lot. I was presenting to a group of people on 3 different occasions, and it was in the morning. I had just eaten like oatmeal and like a peanut butter biscuit, like Nature Valley. So I had like a pretty decent meal. I wasn't hungry, and I had gotten up, and like within 5 minutes of me starting to present, I started to feel super nauseous. Like I'm gonna throw up. I started feeling not well, like not just nauseous, but like not feeling well. I started feeling very dizzy. Then I'm like, I'm going to throw up, and then I'm like, I started losing, like my vision started going out, my hearing went out, and I had to stop what I was doing and say, I'm sorry, I have to stop, and I had to sit down. And it was, you know, embarrassing. I mean, yes, but it's like, this could be serious, so it's like, I don't really care. I'm not embarrassed, but it's just, if like I was sitting at my desk at work, or if I was at home, like it wouldn't be as embarrassing. But it's happened on 3 separate occasions, and it was just weird. Like, I almost passed out. And it's not like I was moving around or doing anything. I was just standing there, and it happened. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I was talking, and I know I get out of breath pretty easily, so I don't know if it was like the combination of being nauseous and out of breath, and then but it only has happened in the morning to me. I haven't had those episodes in the afternoon, and it's always happened like right as I was starting in the morning, and I always feel more nauseous in the morning. But then as soon as I stopped the presentation, and then I had sat down, took a drink of water, and just took like literally 30 seconds. That was it, because like people were like staring at me to continue. And so I like took 30 seconds to like recuperate and just like catch my breath. And then the feeling went away. Like as soon as I sit down and breathe for a second, it goes away. So that's the good thing. But it's just weird that it's happened 3 separate times. So I've learned my lesson. Now before I start my presentations, I just sit down. And I mean, I don't need to explain, but I just sit down. And when I do sit down, I don't seem to have that issue. But it was just crazy that it happened 3 separate times. They were not in a row. But yeah, it happened both weeks. I'm gonna get into the questions, and they're all on my phone. So that's why I'm taking a look at it. So how far along are you? So I literally just switched over into my 7th week. I'll be doing these. I want to get through the week. So this is obviously 5 and 6 weeks. So I've gotten through my entire 6-week pregnancy, and I just turned 7 weeks yesterday. The size of the baby for weeks 5 and 6, lentil and a Maine blueberry. Total weight gain, 0, which I'll be honest, I am shocked. And if anything, I've lost a little bit of weight. I feel like I've gained so much, but I mean, like, I don't care, because I'm just doing what I can to survive and get through the day. So like, I don't care about weight, but I haven't gained anything, and I'm shocked because I'm eating so many crackers and bagels and like just straight up carbs. I haven't gained anything. And like I said, I've lost a few pounds, so I don't know. So 0 weight gain right now. Symptoms, already went through all that. All day sickness has consumed the past 2 weeks. It's been crazy, consumed my life. Not much of an appetite, which sucks, but not much of an appetite, and nothing sounds good. I guess those are the main symptoms. I have absolutely no cravings, which is sad. Like, I want a craving. Give me something to want. Like, I think I'm pregnant. Like, I'm supposed to want something to sound good, but like literally nothing sounds good. But hopefully, and I know those will come. Adversions, everything, literally everything. Movement, obviously none, since I'm still 6 weeks. Sleep has been very good, which has been nice. I guess if there's anything good about these weeks, it's I've been sleeping very well. My high of the week. So I didn't mention this when I was kind of doing my intro. We had our first ultrasound. Yes, we did. We had our first ultrasound in week 6 at my fertility clinic, and we got some good news for sure. I'm actually going to make a completely separate video on that. It will be posted on Wednesday of this week. And I'm going to go over all the details and definitely some really exciting news I want to share with you guys. But ultimately, I will tell you, the ultrasound went wonderful. Everything looks good. But stay tuned for that video on Wednesday. I will be sharing more details, and it's definitely a video you guys aren't going to want to miss. So subscribe, hit the notification, be ready. That's going up Wednesday morning. Low of the week. So high of the week was the wonderful ultrasound, which makes you feel so much better and totally makes everything worth it. The low of the week is just being sick and not liking anything. Like I miss, I guess that's perfect. I was gonna say I miss, and that's the next question. What do you miss? I miss just enjoying food. I mean, I'm not like a huge foodie person. Like, I don't love food. I mean, I like food, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not someone who loves going to all these new restaurants and trying all these foods. Like, I just stay with what I like. But I enjoy eating. I enjoy my pizza. I enjoy my favorite types of food. And just when I do eat, it's just blah to me. So I just miss enjoying food ultimately and feeling normal. But it's what's gonna happen in your first trimester. It's part of the gig. And the last thing is, what I'm looking forward to is feeling better. Mike was so sweet. He got me actually a little card that said, you know, I don't even know what it said, but it was a cute little card that said, keep going. You're doing a great job. We love you, Mike and Avery. And then he got me a prenatal massage, a gift certificate. And I just said, you know, it was so sweet. And I just said, you know, I just feel like I'm putting my head down, I'm just moving, I'm going, and it's just chucking through every single day and trying to get through each and every day. Like, I look at it one day at a time, get through what I can, because this is tough right now. I mean, especially with working. I mean, it would be hard if I was at home with Avery too, because I mean, the only way it'd be easy if I didn't have a job and I didn't have kids and I could lay in bed all day. But it's just really hard with work because I'm up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I have to go. Like, there's no like slowly getting up, which is hard. I have to put on business casual clothes when you don't feel well. You just want to be comfortable. I can't be comfortable. I have to put on makeup because I have to look presentable. So, and I just have to push through. Like, I have no choice, and that's the tough part. And so I'm just putting my head down and trying to be grateful for what my body is doing, and just trying to get through this first trimester and hope that it only lasts for the first trimester. So we'll see. But I know that a lot of symptoms will alleviate after the first trimester. So I'm just pushing my head down, getting through, trying to push through. It's not easy, but it's worth it. So that is what I'm looking forward to, is every day really. And like, this is me being optimistic, and I'm usually not a very super optimistic person. Every day brings something new. I could wake up tomorrow, feel better. I mean, you never know. Like, I doubt that's gonna happen, but it could happen. You know, you never know what's gonna happen. So getting through each week is what I'm looking forward to, and ultimately getting through that first trimester, not just so I can feel better, but also because then, you know, like, the worry goes down a little bit. Not fully, but a little bit. So I think this video is going to be way too long, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to hit the red subscribe button if you guys want to see more videos here on my channel. I'm going to be documenting this pregnancy journey, and again, there's a video here on my channel on Wednesday morning you're not going to want to miss. It's very exciting, so stick around for that. And I appreciate all of you guys joining me for this journey, and I think that's it. So I will be seeing you guys next in 2 weeks. So I'll be doing these pregnancy updates probably every 2 weeks, and they will be going up on Monday. So my pregnancy week switches over on Fridays, but I'm just gonna kind of take my time. I know you guys understand this. Take my time on the weekends to film that, because obviously I'm doing other videos as well, and I'm a mom and a wife. So just taking my time getting that video up. It's not gonna be like this, these videos won't go up like right after I switch my weeks, just a few days delay, I guess. But keep watch for every 2 weeks. On Mondays I will have these up, hopefully. But I think that's gonna be it. So yeah, I will show you guys my baby bump now.